Greetings, switch on. Here's a beautiful question from the examination questions in grade 10. It can appear in grade 10, 11, or even 12. So here it is. Let us look at it. 4 cot theta plus 3 is equal to 0. And 0 is or theta is between 0 degrees and 180 degrees. And then these questions normally appears like solve it without using a calculator, using the aid of a diagram, and using rather a sketch. Let's get to it and see how you can approach this kind of question. Let me use a different pen. 4 cot theta plus 3 is equal to 0. I want us to work with what is given first. What is given is this: 4 cotangent theta plus 3 is equal to 0. This is what is given. With what is given, we are getting to where we want to be. And what I want you to do after looking at this thing, what is given, I want you to always try to make sure that you are left with sine theta is equal to something, cos theta is equal to something, or tangent theta is equal to something on the left hand side. So we're going to try to leave cot theta is equal to something on this side only. What we can get rid of first is this positive 3. We can just say 4 cot theta is equal to negative 3. What did I do? I transposed this side. And then, how can I get rid of this 4? By dividing by 4 both sides. I'm going to divide by 4, divide by 4, and then this 4 sort itself out with this 4. I'm left with cotangent theta is equal to negative 3 all over 4. There we go. Now I'm left with cot theta is equal to negative 3 over 4. But then, cot theta is something. Cot theta is the reciprocal. We call it a reciprocal or the inverse of tan. Why? This thing right here is cotangent. Cotangent, remember I said is the reciprocal of tan, which is the tangent theta. Let me just show you something. What you also need to have in mind is this triangle is 90 degrees in terms of x, y, and r. This right here, let me put theta. This is always r because they are hypotenuse, and then this will be x because it's your adjacent. If you know, the adjacent is the horizontal line, and the vertical line is always your y. Therefore, with this right here, I can say sine theta is equal to y over r. Right? Sine theta is opposite of hypotenuse, so sine of theta is equal to y over r, and then cos of theta, adjacent of hypotenuse, adjacent side is this one, x over r. So when the cos of theta is equal to x over r, and then tan, opposite of adjacent, opposite is this side, adjacent is this side. Therefore, tan of theta is equal to what? Adjacent, opposite is y, adjacent is x, so it's y over x. I want you to have this in mind when I'm treating problems like this. Then I said cot theta is the inverse or is the reciprocal of what? Of tan theta. When I'm talking about the reciprocal, I'm talking about this. 1 over 2. The reciprocal of 1 over 2 will be equal to 2 over 1. These are the reciprocals. So the reciprocal of cot theta is tan theta, and therefore will be negative 4 over 3. This is what I mean. Cot, negative 3 over 4, its reciprocal will be negative 4 over 3. Now, with this right here, I said tan theta is y over x. Therefore, I have the value of y and the value of x right here. What I need is the value of r. But then before going there, you must use a diagram. Remember, this diagram, there it is, your Cartesian plane. Here's your Cartesian plane. This is where this information is going to be useful. 0 degrees, theta, 180 degrees. They said theta lies, or the angle lies between 0 degrees and 180 degrees. And 0 degrees is here, 180 degrees is here. Remember, here is 90, and here is 270, and here is 360 degrees again. So our terminal arm, or our theta, lies between the two quadrants. It's between 0 and 180. So the terminal arm lies between the two quadrants. Now, let us find where it actually lies, between the first or the second. I want you to always remember, in here, all of them are positive. In here, only sine is positive. In here is only tan that is positive. And then in here is only the cosine that is positive. Now, Tan here, tan theta here is negative. Why do I say it's negative? Because it's negative over 3. So tan is negative. And tan is negative in the second quadrant only. We don't look at this because they said it's between 0 degrees and 180. 0 degrees and 180 is from here to here. 0 to 180. Therefore, the terminal arm lies in the second quadrant where tan is negative. Tan is positive in here, so I cannot draw the terminal arm in that side. Now, this right here, I can call it a point in this. Okay, or let me just draw a right angle triangle I have drawn here. Or I can also draw it that side. So I have the value of y and the value of x. The value of x in this quadrant is negative. Therefore, the value of x right here is negative 3 and the value of y is positive 4 because y is positive in this quadrant. So I have those. The only thing that I'm in need of is this r right here. How would I find r? I find r using this Pythagorean theorem. X squared is equal to, not x squared, okay, you can say x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So this is your Pythagoras theorem. X squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. According to this, then I'll go on and say, okay, I have the value of x and y. Then I substitute them here, negative 3 squared plus the value of y. What is the value of y? The value of y is 4. Then I'm going to say 4 squared is equal to r squared. This is 9 and then this is 16. So they both give you 25 is equal to r squared. And then for me to get r, I square both sides and therefore r is equal to 5 units. And I take the positive one because r is always positive. And therefore, I have the value of x, the value of y, and the value of r. And then I can now go on and solve the problems. Let us go on and solve them. Letter A is looking for the cos of theta. And I said, cos of theta is equal to x over r. If you forgot this, you cannot solve this problem. Now, cos of theta is equal to x over r. So I must have x over r. And then what is the value of x? The value of x is negative 3 and the value of r is your 5 here. There's 5. Now it's going to be negative 3 over 5. There is your 2 marks. Now I'll go on and solve the second one. Second one is looking for 3 sine theta secant theta divided by your tangent theta. Now the problem is here. Do you still remember what secant is? Secant is the reciprocal of cos, which is 1 over cos theta. And we said cos theta is this thing right here. Then we go ahead, okay, and say 3. Okay, this is going to be equal to 3 sine theta. Sine theta is y over r. Therefore, it's y over r. I'm going to substitute the value of y and r. And then it's multiplied by secant. Secant is 1 over cos. What is the reciprocal of cos? Reciprocal of cos is x over r. Therefore, reciprocal, not the reciprocal of cos. Cos is x over r. Therefore, the reciprocal of cos will be r over x. There is your r over x here that I'm going to substitute. And then I divide the whole thing by tan theta. Tan theta is y over x. And tan theta is right here. Y over x though. Then let us go ahead and substitute. Let me write everything here. Okay, this is going to be 3. If I substitute y over r first. What is the value of y? The value of y is 4. There is 4. And the value of r is 5. There is 5. And then I go on and substitute r over x. What is the value of r? Is 5. And the value of x is negative 3. And then I divide the whole thing by y over x. Y over x is here, or you can still use that. Y over x, what is the value of y? It's 4, and the value of x is negative 3. Then let us go ahead and solve. 5 right here cancels 5, and then 3 right here cancels this 3. I'm left with this negative and this 4, so it's going to be negative 4 divided by this right here, 4 over negative 3. And then with this, let me just transpose it. Then transpose or transport this thing right there. It's going to be negative 4 I can write this as divide by 4 over -3. And then I'm going to change this division sign into multiplication, multiply by the reciprocal of this. Remember, if I change the division sign, I must flip this. It's going to be -3 all over 4. Then this 4 will cancel this 4, and then negative times negative is positive. Then I'm only left with the value of 3 as the final answer. And there we go, you have solved this. And there is your 5, 6, 7, or 8 marks. That's it. If this video was helpful, please leave a thumbs up. Remember to follow for more and comment for anything you'd want to see me presenting in the next lesson. There we go. Thank you so much.